We've been talking about for the last year and a half, maybe even longer, about all the problems Disney's had. 2022 was a horrendous year for them. Box office was disappointing, streaming losing billions of dollars, and of course their stock price had its worst year in half a century. And it forced them into doing things they didn't want to do, like fire 7,000 people. And of course, you know all the cuts they made to their content on Disney Plus, all these things. But among the 7,000 people fired, we just found this out a couple days ago, were some interesting names, specifically from Pixar. Now, we know that Pixar has been struggling, that Disney, Pixar, Disney Animation used to be at the top of the game, family-friendly entertainment. That is no longer the case. Universal's been destroying them. And one of the biggest box office disappointments and flops for them in recent memory was absolutely Lightyear. Well, it looks like some of the people involved with Lightyear are gone. Lightyear director and producer among Disney Pixar layoffs. Among the layoffs that took place at Walt Disney Company were job cuts at Pixar that included the director and producer of Lightyear, Deadline has confirmed. Now, 75 people were fired from Pixar. No, there has not been anyone fired there, any cutbacks, in almost a decade. That's how rarely it happens with their animation. But it happened for this. Director Angus MacLane, the 26-year animator who was part of the senior creative team, was cut from the studio in late May. And then Galen Sussman, who had been part of the studio since the original Toy Story was released, was also part of the cuts. She was a producer. Angus MacLane was the director of the Lightyear disaster. And now pretty much everywhere when it comes to Disney animation, they're having to make these cutbacks. They're having to evaluate because honestly, it doesn't look like it's getting any better. The next Pixar movie that's coming out looks like it's also going to be a box office bomb. But we're talking about Pixar, Jeremy, where everything they came out with used to be a success. Everything they came out with was basically heralded as incredible. Now they're struggling, and it's just sad to see, to be honest.
It is sad to see, but it's also very satisfying to see when you see this right here. Remember, Chris Evans, homophobic Lightyear critics are idiots who will die off like dinosaurs. How'd that work out for you there, Chris Evans? You fucking piece of shit. You got what you deserved right here. When you go and trash people before a film comes out, and then that movie went on to lose money. So more wokeness, getting exactly what you deserve from that perspective. And so, yeah, with Pixar being in the position they're in, it is crazy because, again, Pixar used to actually matter. You know what else used to matter, Ryan? Star Wars. Star Wars used to matter. You know what else used to matter? The Marvel Cinematic Universe used to matter. When a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie was coming out, people actually cared. It actually carried respect and anticipation. Star Wars used to actually be special. Pixar movies actually used to be special. None of it means anything anymore. Nothing. Do you know what does matter now? A Tom Cruise movie matters. A Mario movie matters. What's the common theme with those couple of films right there? What is the common theme there? Respecting people, respecting the fans. Chris Pratt actually does appreciate the fans. Tom Cruise, as crazy as it is, does respect the fans. And the common theme with Pixar, Disney, MCU is that they're constantly disrespecting because they are agenda-driven storytelling, and they're just dying off. Pixar's dying off like dinosaurs. They deserve it.
Yeah, and to see like heads roll that have been at the company a long time, to see heads roll that were involved with that failure. And obviously, it probably goes much bigger than just that, just the failure of Lightyear, all these other things that they were involved with. But Pixar has lost. Disney has lost this animated crown, this family-friendly animation that they dominated for decades. They have lost out to Universal. Now going on 4 years. This will be the fourth straight year that they lose to Universal in terms of the box office numbers. And not just that, it'd be one thing if maybe they weren't putting out things out or they weren't doing great, but they just making money. This stuff's losing money. Elemental will be the next one to likely lose money for them. And they're making cuts all around because it's just not sustainable.